Good morning, students. In the last video we have discussed about the deserts and different features that develops in the desert regions of Africa. So today we'll be discussing about the mountainous region of Ethiopian highlands. The Ethiopian highlands are the highest and the mostly made of volcanic rocks. So these are the highest region of Africa, you can say. So it is basically made out of volcanic rocks. So this mountainous system has been formed due to the volcanic activities. These highlands are home to 80% of Africa's tallest mountain. Means whatever the tallest mountain is there in Africa, it is located only in this highland, or it is located in this region. Although there are some mountain ranges in the southern part of Africa, but 80% of these tallest mountain or the highest mountain of Africa lies only in the Ethiopian highlands. This mountain range have a number of high peaks, namely Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, Mount Elgon. These are some of the important mountain peaks that are found in the Ethiopian highlands, or the mountainous region of Ethiopian highlands, and all of this mountainous region are the volcanic origin. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest peak of Africa. It is an extinct volcano and remains snow covered. Now let me tell you what is extinct volcano. Extinct volcano means the volcano that has erupted many years ago, and now the eruption has stopped. Now it is also known as a dead volcano. It will never erupt in future. So towards the southeastern part lies the Drakensberg mountain, which is in the southern part of Africa. As I already told you, southeastern part of Africa, Drakensberg mountain. And the Atlas mountain lies in the northwestern part of the continent, is an example of young fold mountain. So Atlas mountain is in the northwestern part. So although it is not exactly the part of the Ethiopian highland, but it is also a mountainous system of Africa. So Drakensberg lies in the southern part, Atlas mountain lies in the northwestern part. Now you can see here the Ethiopian highlands, the location of Ethiopian highlands in this map. So this region is entirely a part of Ethiopian highlands. It also constitutes some plateau regions. This portion is a mountainous region. Okay students, now we are going to discuss about Ethiopian highland plateaus. Okay, now Ethiopian highland plateaus are generally it's an undulating plateau of different elevations, or most of the Africa is consists of flat and undulating plateaus, so it's a part of that. Now it is lower towards the north and higher towards the south, and this plateau are higher toward the eastern as well as in the southern region. So this is important to note the configuration of this plateau. Okay, it is higher towards the south and lower towards the north, higher towards the eastern and the southern part. Okay, so these plateaus are mostly made out of old volcanic rocks. It has steep edge and uneven surface. So most of the plateaus have very steep edges and the surface may be uneven. Okay, uneven means undulating like this. It's not plain. Okay, so Drakensberg mountain range forms the southern edge of this plateau. We can also see this in the map here down. Sorry, not in this map. Okay, I'll show you in the next series of map. Okay, now you see here, to the west of the Drakensberg falls a series of steps to the plains known as Karos. Now Karos is a series of steps, or you can say just like a terrace like plains, okay, which is in the western part of the Drakensberg. Now the eastern Africa rises steeply from the eastern or East Africa plateau rises very steeply from the eastern part of the Africa. It has a great line of depression, and this depression are basically formed by the shrinking of the segment of the earth crust. When the earth crust got, so this is a kind of series of eastern part of the plateau, and just below this you have a depression here. This has been formed due to the shrinking of the landmass, or you can say it is due to the faulting activities. So due to faulting activities, the landmass has got shrinked. Shrink means to fall down, okay, due to tectonic activities. Now there is a depression formed in this region. Okay, now you can see here this the location of Karos in the southern part of Africa, nearby the Drakensberg. This is a Drakensberg mountain system. Toward the western part of Drakensberg, this is a Karos, is a steppe like series, or you can also see in the picture above a steppe like kind of plains, which is termed as Karos here. So moving on to the next slide. Okay, now we'll be discussing about Great Rift Valleys. Now about rift valleys you have already studied in class 5 or maybe class 6, that how are they formed, what are they. Okay, generally rift valleys are very long, narrow, steep sided valleys, okay, formed due to the faulting activities when the two continental blocks, say for example this is continent, okay, continental part, and when the cracks develops in these portions due to the movement of the continental block in the opposite direction, cracks develops here, so this block gets subsided down and the upper blocks shift downward, or it moves in the downward direction. So you see a valley is formed in between this block, subsided block. So such type of valleys are known as rift valleys. Now similar kind of rift valleys are formed in the continent of Africa. Okay, so we'll be discussing about it. So a rift valley is a long, deep and narrow steep sided valley. It is formed due to crack or faults in the earth crust, as I already told you. So one distinctive features of earth is of Africa, it should be Africa, is a series of rift valleys. So there are series or number of rift valleys in the same say line, you can say. It is located in the eastern part of Africa. We'll see in the map later. So this extends for a distance of about 8,000 meters, that is about 8 kilometers from Zambezi River to the Dead Sea in southwestern part of Asia. So remember this extent of Rift Valley, that is 8 kilometers, you can say it is 8 kilometers from Zambezi River up to the Dead Sea in the southwest of Asia. Okay, moving on to the next point, that is some part of rift valleys are occupied by large and elongated freshwater lakes. Some of the important freshwater lakes are Malawi in the south, Lake Tanganyika, Albert in the west, and Lake Rudolph in the Rudolph in east are some of the important lakes that are located in this great rift valleys, or in the middle of this rift valleys there are some important freshwater lakes develops here. Now importantly to note here is the Lake Victoria that lies in between two arms of the rift valleys. It is not a part of a rift valley, it is the largest freshwater, and it is the largest freshwater lake of Africa. It is not a rift valley, as I already know, it is not a rift valley lake. It is the main source of river Nile, which is the longest river in the world. Okay, so we can see in the map here, look here. So this is the image showing rift valleys, this part, one arm and the other arm is here. Okay, entire region is a rift valley. It is covered by number of lakes. You can see here, Lake Tanganyika, okay, and Malvi Lake, okay, Lake Albert in the north, Edward in the just below the Albert river, Lake Albert. Okay, then in the middle of this, in the middle of these two rift valleys, we have Lake Victoria. So this is the freshwater lake, largest freshwater lake of Africa, and it is the main source of river Nile. So river Nile originates from, it supplies water to the river Nile. Okay, you can also see in this right hand side map here, this is a part of Rift Valley. Excuse me. Now let us move on to the next slide, that is plains. Now plains of Africa. So Africa's plains are low-lying, undulating areas made of alluvium. So most of the plains are low-lying plains, and it is undulating means it's not entirely plain. It is covered by some hillocks, small hillocks, we can say. These lowlands are found in the northern and the western part of the continent, following the coast, and then fall sharply down to the sea. So these lowlands are especially found in the northern part, as well as in the eastern part of the continent, and it follows the coast and falls sharply down to the sea. Now the important plain is the Congo or Zaire Basin. It is located in the central part of Africa and is a low-lying region. Okay, now so up to this we'll be discussing about the plains. Now last point we'll be discussing about this is there are narrow coastal plains along the east and the western parts. So majority of the Africa is covered by desert. Okay, so we can sum up in this way: majority of the Asia is covered by deserts and plateaus and some highlands, but a very few portion is there which is covered by plains. That is important one is Zaire Basin. Okay, is a part which lies in the central part of Africa. So we'll be discussing only up to this today. So in the next video we'll be discussing about other topics. Thank you.